Hello Facebook, how are you? Melissa here, coming to you Thursday around the middle of the day when my new start times. I'm just playing around with the times that I start. Today we are debunking the fourth marketing myth that I hear all the time from potential customers and existing clients. They come up with all sorts of reasons why they can't do some things. And the biggest one that I hear a lot is that they just don't have time to be able to create content. They either don't have time, or the other one is, I don't know what to say. I've got nothing to say. And that's crazy, when you think you've got all your expertise and all the things that you do in your business. Of course you've got something valid to say. It's just you have to take the time to step out of your business and sort of think about, well, what is it? What are the daily conversations that I have with my clients all the time? And then turn them into conversation pieces that you can have in your marketing. Because what you don't want your marketing to be like is marketing. You don't want to sound like, you don't want anybody to just seeing what you're doing and feel like it's actually they're being sold to, because then in that essence, then you've actually failed your client. Failed yourself, failed your own business. What you want to do is have your marketing look like exactly like what I'm doing now. It's just having a friendly chat. Marketing is just a conversation. It's just a series of, either imparting information or helpful tips, things that actually improves the life of the person that you're interacting with and gives them a bit of hope and a bit of, solutions to the problems that they have in whatever it is that they're doing in their day-to-day life. And that gets to the core of why you need to be marketing, because people are online right now, particularly in these times, and they're looking for solutions for the problems that they have. And we're educated to do this. You might even be referred to somebody who is just the best person ever for your business. But you still want to find out a bit about them. You want to build a rapport. You want to make sure you're going to be able to work together well and that the relationship's going to go great. So they're going to go online, they're going to look for things, and they're going to look for your content. They're going to see if you resonate with them or not. Now, we call it content. Maybe we should come up with a better word for it, because really the word content kind of sucks, because it sounds like, it doesn't sound very emotional, very inspiring, does it? Now I'm going to go create content today. Whereas if you sort of say, you know what, every day at midday, I either write a nice post to my potential clients, or I get online and I have a chat, or I'm running a webinar and I try to get people to come to that because I know I'm going to be able to help them. If you phrase it in a way that sounds a bit sexier and a bit more fun for you and more engaging and more inspiring, then you're more likely to do it. Whereas if we keep using this phrase, I'm just going to go build some content, perhaps that's what the stumbling block is for you. So I want to share with you why you should be doing creating this content, creating these information pieces, whatever it is, sharing stories, whatever it is that you want to call it. You want to do it because you want to create an impact. You need to stand out in your marketplace with the people that come up against you, that you'll be faced up against, when you sort of get test quoted against each other. And we can only assume that you're doing good stuff and they're doing good stuff, and your prices are similar. So what it comes down to basically is your personality and your brand messaging and what you stand for, and if people engage with you and actually kind of like and resonate with you. And so while people are in this mad researching phase, this is all the stuff that's going on in their mind while they're absorbing, what it is that you put out there in social media, or your email marketing, or your video content, or whatever it is that you're doing, or, your brochures, your mail outs. Some people have a lot of success with sending out direct mail. That's still lumpy mail. It's still something that really works. So you want to create an impact. You want to reach a much wider audience. You want to be able to help more, so you're more genuine and more authentic with what you're offering, and so people really feel and resonate. So they believe that you can help them, but they also believe that you want to help them and that there's value coming from you to help them. Because we all just want to have a good, positive relationship with the people that we're handing money over to. So if you can put their minds at ease and show them that in, the material that you're putting out, that you actually care. What a point of difference for you compared to other people that might not come across quite as empathetically. Empathetically, is that a word? I love making up words. You want to build connection. You also want to be able to charge the price that you're worth. So the more trust that people have with you, the more relationship they've built with you, the more that you can demonstrate your expertise through your content and your material, the more that you can charge what you're actually worth. And this is a big one for some people. It all comes down to your value too, and how you perceive yourself and how people perceive your value. You don't want to be the cheapest in your industry. If you're winning jobs based on being the cheapest, it's just a beautiful race to the bottom, because there's always going to be somebody who's even got less self-esteem that's going to charge even less. You do not want to be the cheapest. And if you're dealing with people that are the cheapest, it's going to come unstuck. Yes, you might have work, but what's the quality of the work like? How good can it honestly be if somebody doesn't value their skills enough to actually charge just what they're worth? What else have I got here? You want more opportunities to open up. So the more that you have content out there, the more that the likelihood that it's going to get shared and you're going to be spoken about and be exposed to a wider audience. So the more opportunities you're going to have put in front of you, and you're actually going to be able to work with maybe the type of clients that you want to work with and the people that you do really good things with. You want to be in a situation, and I was only chatting with James about this today, and he's my business partner, and he was saying, he quoted himself out of a job because he knew that the client, it was not going to be a good relationship. They really were just like wanting an absolute, creme de la creme, didn't value the service, didn't want to pay for it. So, you price that accordingly. People do that all the time. You don't want to have to take the job because there's nothing else there. You want to be so sought after that you can pick and choose the people that you work with. You work with the people that you know are going to value your services, are going to have a really great, healthy relationship with, and that you're going to be able to do the best stuff for. Because, we're in business to accentuate and enhance our lives, aren't we? Like, we're not in this, we didn't choose to go into business for ourselves and work these kind of crazy hours and have these stresses like what we've got right now to be the cheapest and to just work with any old Tom, Dick and Harry. I don't know about you, but I went into business because I wanted to have absolute freedom and control over my life, pick and choose the customers I work with, and for fulfillment and freedom of choice. So, what has this got to do with creating content? It's got everything to do with creating content, because the more you put out content like this and you really can impart to people who you are and what you're about, the more you'll attract the right people to you and the right opportunities. I can see you guys out there watching. I don't know who's on, but I'll just say hello to you. Can you give me a like or make a comment in the bottom of, in the share comments there? And just because I'm just talking to myself, it's really great to get some feedback. If you've got any questions, ask some questions, or any comments if you like what you're hearing. I'd love it if you sort of shared your thoughts, or at least gave me a like, or I'd say a thumbs up, but that's something else. And the other reason why you like content too, and this is a really good one, is A, so people can find you, but B, so you're in circulation for a long time. Like, there's some posts that I've put out a year or two ago, and then somebody will, you know that they've gone through all your videos and they're scrolling through all the content and they're watching them all, and then they'll put up a like or a comment on it, and all of a sudden something that you did a year ago or 18 months ago pops back up to the top again in the feed, which is amazing. And it's there again, and people will share. The other thing I want to say about content, and I'm going to do an education piece on this in the next couple of weeks, is that we need to be repurposing our content as much as possible. If you're just doing one piece of content and then it doesn't appear anywhere else, that's just a real shame. Hey, Jace, so it depends on sometimes the profession you are in. Oh, for sure. You'd have to sort of elaborate on that, and then I can actually answer more succinctly to what your question is. But yeah, for sure. There are some things that are so easy to build content for, and other things that you've got to think a little bit more, But as long as it's about human-to-human interaction, it's just two people having a conversation. When you're on social media, you just imagine that you're actually having a conversation with somebody and giving them the opportunity to respond back to you. So then it's a two-way street. That's the whole thing with social media, at least when you're building content that way. Even if you're creating a video, though, it's still, you always imagine writing an article, writing a book. You always need to know who your target audience is and who that A client is that you're trying to appeal to. And then you visualize them in your head. And as you're writing, it's like you're talking to them. So then it feels more organic, it feels more flowing, it feels more generous and authentic, and people will respond heaps better to it. But yeah, if you wanted to elaborate, that's totally cool. I'm happy to have a chat with you here now. So I was talking about repurposing, yeah. So even an example of this Facebook Live. So I come on, been doing these quite frequently. So what I'll do from this Facebook Live is I then create an article, like a little post that goes with it, and I'll post it up. So people that don't want to watch the video will read the article that goes along with the post on Facebook. Then I actually copy the video out, and if I particularly like it, I top and tail it with my branding, and then I put it up on YouTube, and then I write a longer form blog post put that on my website. Then I'll share that out in my newsletter. And if I think it's quite good for the business community, I'll save that video and I'll put it on LinkedIn and maybe Instagram with another type of story that suits that audience more. So I'm using it and getting it across multiple platforms. So yes, I've invested 5 minutes before I've come on live to think about what am I going to say, then 10 or 15 minutes of my video now, and then probably another 10 minutes after that to write a blog, and then I share it across all the different platforms that I'm on. So the whole thing might have taken 40 minutes, but I might have gotten out across on 3 different platforms, then to my website, and even on a newsletter if it's quite important. I think it's really relevant. So if you can sort of see, that's the value of content, is when you're repurposing it and putting it across many platforms, and not just thinking singly of the one platform that you're on, but thinking about how you can push it across many and then get in front of more eyes. The other thing you want to be doing too, and this is something I'm going to focus on a lot this month, is share posting onto other people's platforms, other people's, in front of their databases. This is when you actually really get in front of people, is when you get in front of other people's audiences. So if you're just thinking about your content all the time and only on your platforms, yes, you grow, but it's a slow, hard slog. But if you're actually writing content and creating articles, for instance, that can be shared out on high authority websites of things that are really pertinent to the times and really engaging stories, then you're going to get your brand in front of so many more people than you could if you just went out onto your own platform. So this is the purpose of content. It's to get exposed in front of so many more people. And if one of your main goals is to get more clients, that means you need to build a bigger database. And the way you build a bigger database is to get in front of more clients with content. So, it's a beautiful mishmash of everything that you do. But keeping everything like this and just keeping it all to yourself and just sticking around on your own platforms never ever works. So I just got another content. So God bless you, beautiful, and love you, sister. Hey, thank you. I hope you enjoy the content too. That's very nice. Hey, Kate, nice to see you watching. I'm just wrapping up now, actually. I've been talking about content. If you wanted to go back to the beginning and watch from the beginning, I was talking about, I've been debunking a whole lot of marketing myths this week. And the myth that I'm debunking is that people don't have time and they don't know what to talk about when they're creating content. And they don't see the sense of why they're doing it. Sometimes it feels pointless because you might feel like at the time in lifetime that you're only talking to a handful of people. But you have to consider that, one of those people could easily turn into a customer. And what's the lifelong value of a customer to you, to a client? For me, it can be thousands, if not tens of thousands. I've had some clients over the period of 10 years spend hundreds of thousands of dollars with me. So is it not worth getting out your content in front of a handful of people if it's your exact target audience? I would say to you that yes, it's worth it. Thanks, Jay. So although there is a staff shortage in my profession, undercutting has ingrained in my profession since the 1980s. Look, everybody in every profession could probably say that. So I guess, I'm not sure what your profession is, but undercutting is all about, to me it's when you don't value what you do. If everyone's doing that, it's all because you feel like you've all got exactly the same product or the same service. So my suggestion to you would be, you have to look at a bit of a reinvention about how can you stand out and how can you be different, so you can position yourself differently, so you can let everybody else undercut each other, but you bring something different to the table, whatever that is, and then that's what people are paying for, that expertise. And it might mean that you have to disrupt your industry a little bit and do something different. So for me, I'll give you an example with me. So I could say the same thing. So I build a website and I'll charge anywhere from $4,000 to $20,000 for a website. And I'll have people say to me, oh, my budget's only $1,000. And I don't build those sort of websites. Like there's 100 people you can find who are in your inbox in the next week that will build your site for less than $1,000, $500. But I ask you, what's the quality? What kind of relationship do you have with that provider? Do they speak the same language as you? There's a million questions I can ask. And, I take people down a funnel of connection marketing, which is exactly the stuff that I'm talking about today, And so you get a whole lot of strategy and a whole lot of marketing expertise as well as the website build. And you get a whole lot of love and care and education along the way as well. And then you're part of my community and you also get access to the free online course that is all about connection marketing. So these are all ways that I've been able to enhance my product offering and then pitch myself out. Certainly, I would say that in my price points, I'm in the middle range. I'm not super expensive. I'm certainly not cheap. I'm just in the middle. And so, in my industry, there's a ton of undercutting, but it's the way you come at it from your perspective. So happy to have a chat with you offline if you sort of want to give me more information about your industry and what you see as your perceived stumbling blocks, because undercutting it's a real thing, and I totally and thoroughly understand it, but it just means you've got to position yourself differently, and then in the content that you create, you're marketing yourself completely differently, and that's what's called disruption. So that's what people talk about a lot. So if anyone's got a question, happily will answer them now. There's a little bit of a 10-second delay, so you'll have to get that question out pretty fast because I'll be signing off in a sec. But I do so enjoy doing these Facebook Lives. I do love chatting. I love it when you guys chat with me. I think that's so fantastic because I love to be able to give real examples. And I like being put on the spot too, you know. I've been doing this for 25 years. I'm really happy to get some curly questions thrown at me and see if I can, answer them and help you out and give you the best service that I can. That's the other thing when you're creating content that I want to say is it's all about the service and the relationships. So, you keep turning up consistently and just delivering your content in the way that you find really comfortable. And I like to mix it up. I've got a podcast, I do these Facebook Lives, I do normal videos, I do blogs, trying to do more guest appearances. I used to do, physical face-to-face workshops, but we're not doing those at the moment. Got my online course as well, which is connectionmarketing.online if you want to check that out. There's so many ways that you can get your information out in front of people. And the next big thing, I think, for most businesses, which we're going to really see through these times, is the power of collaborating. And like what I said before about, repurposing your content and getting your content out onto other platforms with bigger audiences so you can be seen by more people. Because that's your job as a business owner. Your job is to bring in the leads and to bring in the new customers, and your staff or your team behind you. You might just have a small team. Let me have a quick drink. Their job is to pump the work out. Your job is to bring the leads in and to build that connection and to be the driving force behind your business. The other thing with when you have really great content is you actually attract really good staff to you as well. So I've got to say, I think I've rattled off more than enough reasons why building and creating good quality content regularly and consistently is a very important thing and a great thing you should be doing every day in your business. So there's no more questions. If you've got anything, you can shoot me a private message. That's totally cool. I get lots of those after I go off the videos. If you like what you've seen, please like the video so it gets seen by more on Facebook, and share it if you like to your audience, or just ask me some questions. I'm very happy to help. Okay, have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow where I'm debunking some other marketing myth. Okay, have a great day.